it just, I think, goes on to dispel the myth, to prove it wrong, that you have to have played international cricket to be able to talk about the game, or international anything to be able to talk about. Some of the finest commentators over many, many years, decades, hundreds of years, have not been those who have achieved at the highest level within the sport. Because the art of commentary, of talking about anything, is a mixture of many criteria, many aspects. One aspect, of course, is having played. Now, I may not have played for the country, but I played for Division 1 league cricket and so on and so forth. And all of us, when we grew up in India, we played so much of cricket. We may not learn the subtle nuances of the game, and we may not have faced bowlers who are bowling at 148 kilometers an hour, etc., etc. But you get a very strong idea what the game is all about. Thereafter, you have to mix your verbal skills, your knowledge of the language, and your knowledge of the spectators, of the viewers, and many other aspects, and maybe your voice modulation and so on and so forth, that go on to making the art of commentary interesting and pleasant. Those are the two very important words, because I don't think a viewer will stay very long if commentary is not interesting and that he's not deriving pleasure from it. It's not just a master class. I mean, when you are watching a game, it is not meant to be a cricket camp where you're learning every ball what to do, what not to do, because many people already know what to do. But it's also a sort of an overall comprehensive pleasure, and that's what we seek to give the viewer.
Charu name, sometimes people confuse with Charu, Charu actress and Charu and all. So, do you have any incident to tell us?
Well, many actually, but my name is Charu Sharma. Now, it gets too big, so the Chandra becomes a middle name, it becomes a middle initial, and then goes off completely, so it's Charu Sharma, it's Charu Sharma. And the biggest benefit that I receive of being Charu Sharma is that, obviously, if you drop the Chandra, then it becomes a, it could be a woman's name as well, and so on and so forth. So, very often when I go with a team, say all 4 or 5 of us are going to a hotel in Delhi, and the person who's made the booking has not been very specific, saying Mr. Ms. this, that and the other. People there in the hotel presume, oh, this is Miss Charu Sharma. So whenever you land up and they say, sir, where's Miss Charu Sharma? So I say, yeah, well, what do you need Miss Charu Sharma for? No, we've kept a very good room for Miss Charu. Take it, Mr. Charu Sharma, give me that good room. So I get some special treatment till they see who I am.
Okay, remember when you went that you were in South Africa and they were throwing the bottles after drinking beers. So,
well, one thing is that it wasn't pleasant. I mean, because you have a job to do and the missiles coming all over the place, and that's what you could see. What you couldn't hear was all sorts of other things being said. Those days, I was working with Prime Sports, or Star Sports, along with Sunil Gavaskar, and I were doing all the shows. And in their wisdom, and I quite liked the concept, we were doing all our conversations from the field, from the boundary line. Now, obviously, South African grounds are very close, security is slack, and people got rather close, especially at the end of play when people had a full day's, more than the quota of beer. Things got a little out of hand. And Sunil, I remember, Sunny was very, very upset. But I said, these guys, they've come here to enjoy themselves and they're not bothered about what we are doing. So if you take a look at it from their angle, sure, then eventually we got some security organized and they were stopped. But it was unpleasant. Some ice was also, thrown our way, so that was not nice. But
to make you cool.
but it's good fun. The energy that you get from a conversation about the match when you're on the ground is 10 times more than when you're sitting up, in the pavilion somewhere in a small room with a little monitor talking about the game. Because you can't get the same energy, the same.
With Bangalore Royal Challengers, you were the CEO of that team. So, why you thought of being the CEO of?
I know various people in the field. They said it would be very nice with your knowledge of the game, overall knowledge, not just inside the field. It'll be good if you can help us form the team and take the team through to the IPL. So it was a very challenging assignment. Not so much in the team selection, which of course people get very wrong. Because in an auction you don't select, you only get the players you get. It's not a selection at all. And of course Rahul being the icon player of the team, and he did 98% of the suggesting, and we all went by what he said. Now when I'm sitting and Rahul's sitting, who do you think is going to make the cricket decisions? He is. So a lot of wrong things were finally attributed to what I was doing. And when the team unfortunately did not begin well, I think there was so much hype and so much expectation, and I think those who were responsible for the team, the ownership, just got a little rattled, I think, and took one wrong decision, according to me, to let me go, because I didn't really have anything to do with what was going on inside the field. The players went there, they won or lost, and if anybody had to be sacked, perhaps the coach ought to be inside for anybody else. But I was a soft target. And no hard feelings. I mean, if somebody gets, after all, the team ownership has the right to hire or to fire. It was a sorry episode in my life because.
And sir, you promoted Metro Go Underground.
I think the Metro Go Underground was mostly a result of the tree cutting in Bangalore, and as you know, we're all so proud of our trees and the volume, the number of trees, and so on and so forth. What is clear is that I'm sure there are many other considerations about where the metro must go, up or down or left or right. But if trees are to be cut, I think we should have a very good plan of ensuring that they're grown again, because fortunately, trees are a commodity that can be grown again. If you fell them once, it's not the end of the world. The plan has to be very clear that once trees are cut down, twice the number should be planted. I know it'll take 10, 15, 20 years to come back to any kind of level of where they prevent pollution. But unfortunately, progress will always come at a heavy price. But that price, as long as it's being paid temporarily, on a long term, we should be able to grow the trees back up again and so on and so forth. So it's a question of planning, better planning.
You sing that song, Namma Metro. I don't understand, sir.
No, the Metro song, I've learned only 2 or 3 Kannada lines. No, I don't know that. Oh. Yeah, I think I have it now. Here goes. Maragalu hodare, Bengaluru hoitu. Now, when that's said in a sort of a dramatic, Maragalu hodare, Bengaluru hoitu. What it means is, if the trees die, Bangalore dies. That's a nice thought. So keep the trees. Meri Shubhkamnaएं, this whole thing. And I hope I have been able to not only let you know a little bit more about my life, but also hopefully giving your life a little bit of direction.
Thank you, Charu sir.